Well, hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Alan. This is the Gibson Garage Speed Shop. And you're watching another unboxing video. So thank you for tuning in. I don't do a lot of unboxing videos, but I do like to try and show off some of the cooler stuff that I get sometimes. You know, why not? So today we're working on the it's Yes Welder brand, but it's a plasma cutter, 65DS. Look at that guy. I've been using it, right? With the ArcDroid. I got it for the ArcDroid. So a couple things about it. So this is my first plasma cutter I've ever owned, and only the second one I've ever operated. I did used to work with one a lot, a nice Miller one, when I worked with AFC Finishing Systems. And it seemed to work fine, and comparatively this thing seems to work just as fine. Seems to be all right. I did cut a few things here. Now these are cuts with the ArcDroid arm, of course, because I can't get it cut that straight. Right, you can see there's a little bit, and that's at about 38 amps, and this is maybe a little over a 1/16 thick, or maybe just a 1/16 inch thick, not very thick. But if it takes 38 amps to cut something like this, and because the arm does move kind of fast too, so you got to turn it up. But I'm thinking 65 isn't going to get you much thicker. You might be able to, it depends on how slow you move, I guess. So you can turn it up to 65 and probably cut anything, as long as, depending on how slow you go. A couple things to note about this welder is that if you are using it for like a robotic arm, it does not have an output for the trigger. So I had to, just like the founder of ArcDroid did in his video, he had to tap in there and make his own leads that come out and tap into the back of the ArcDroid. But, you know, it worked. It's still, I was able to tap into it without destroying anything, so we're okay. And I did test cuts, it's working, it's fine. Everything's all good. But if you are looking for a plasma cutter for a robot, maybe this isn't your guy. But maybe doing this isn't a big deal. It seems intimidating at first doing something like that. You know, I always get a little kind of butthurt really when I have to do something I never did before, and pouty. Because, you know, you're afraid you're not going to know how to do it or whatever. But anyways, you know, you feel really accomplished when you do it right, and it's all good now. So check out this unboxing video I made for you. I know it's already out of the box, right? Spoiler. But I'm recording this intro after the fact because I was in the middle of building the plasma table for the plasma cutter arm. And then I was in the middle of the steps trying to calibrate the arm, and it's like, okay, now connect your plasma cutter, and I'm like, it's not even out of the box yet. So I was all like sweaty and nasty, and you know, I wasn't gonna shoot an intro just quite like that. And you know, it's kind of better to have my thoughts together in the intro, but now we're coming up on like a lot of time. So check out this video and tell me what you guys think. Okay, we get to do an unboxing in this. So much stuff. Okay, plenty of packaging around it. It's a lot smaller than I imagined, but I mean, plasma cutters are pretty small. This is just a plasma cutter. Let's get you in for the close shots. All right, here it is on the table. And the box of stuff that came with it, we'll get in that in a moment. Nice little protective glass. Make sure to always keep that down. Don't want no dust or sparks hitting it. This does not have like an external power attachment, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what that is. It's ground wire. We'll get into the instructions here in a minute. Make sure we cover all the bases, of course. That's the size of my hand, though. I mean, it's a little guy. And we got some. It's not too heavy, so that's good. Looks like that's probably the air hookup. And there's some model information there for you guys. Alright, let's see what's in the box. Instructions and fittings. We've got AFR. Okay. Instructions necessary. Of course, a ground cable. Okay. An adapter to go to 220. That's cool. That's cool. The gun. And a tool. Trigger guard. And you get some clear hose. I guess we'll find out what that's for later. So I'm going to do the obvious man thing and just hook up whatever I can until I get confused before I go to the instructions. Let's see. So the ground wire, I think that's obvious. And then turn it. Oh yeah, I like that. Might even be able to turn that a little harder. And it is 220. So I've got 220, I don't need the adapter. This, that's the, yep, that's the thing there for the thing. No, this must be some sort of air regulator. AFR, it does say air fuel ratio, but that doesn't make sense. Okay, there's that. We'll set that there for later. And that's what the fittings go to. And you hear my kids in the background playing in the pool. Now there's a little bit of lock thread on there, but I don't know. Thread locker, lock thread. Okay. So that's obvious. What goes in here? Push lock. Now we got the gun. And this should be really simple too and obvious. And there's a tool. Ooh. Nice protective case. It's like, yeah, it's pretty nice. Let's get this out of the way. And that out of the way. And that. Oh, nope, there's something in there. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I think it goes there. I was wondering, they're leaving me hanging? That has no thread locker, and I'm gonna need a tool to tighten that. Nope, we'll just set that right there. I wonder what this does. Looks like this. Obviously, it goes there. And then threads on. Okay, that's a nut. That'll go there. But I might be able to just add another thing here to go to the ArcDroid. And this is just a rubber plug. Tighten that up. Plug this. This has to be threaded. tight, not tight, but I can't get that any tighter. And then back in goes the ground. Okay, we'll set this little plug up here. Oh, I need to add air. Hold on. Stupid instructions. What, are they expecting me to use this little tiny hose for real? How am I going to hook that up to an air compressor? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't say. It doesn't. Okay, get past the BS. Installation and connection line, connection source, connection to the output cable, connection to earth cable. They don't talk about installing air. Line, power supply, connection to the cutting torch, connection to the earth cable, operation of the reducer valve. The embedded filter reducer is properly set when leaving factory, and users do not need to set it themselves in general. If users need to set the embedded filter reducer, the machine cover should be opened as shown in the above figure. Nothing about hooking up the air. Guess we just like forego the push lock stuff because frankly the instructions suck. Yes, Welder. I mean, they are terrible. They're not even instructions. I think they're absolutely terrible. Very thumbs down. I had to watch a video. I know that kind of seems like cheating, making a video after having to watch a video. This is where this thing is supposed to go, your air filter, and it also looks like you can hook up either some gas or high pressure air. If you hook up just some gas, it has to be oxyacetylene, and it's very low pressure, and you're cutting, you won't be able to cut as thick a stuff as you could if you had compressed air. Now, only if you have 220 and only if you have compressed air are you getting the full benefits of this thing, the full 65 amps. And also, when you hook up air, you're going to want, for 220, you're going to want between, I believe, like 60 and 70 or 65 and 75 PSI. What the hell is this tool for? I'm going to give it a little loop here. And the 7/16 wrench will tighten up this gauge. Okay, air's hooked up. No reading on the gauge yet. I've got it set to about in between 65 and 70 PSI. Let's flip the switch in the back. Oh, I didn't plug it in. I thought I plugged it in. Okay, now let's turn it on. We're set at a full 65 right now. So it's already set to 2T. I don't know, it doesn't explain what 2T or 4T is. It's set at a full 65, but you're supposed to adjust it to like how thick your metal is. So let's try somewhere around 20 here, 18, okay. We got 238 volts, that's good. Means I did something right. Got some random metal here. Now this is no contact, so you're supposed to hold it above 2 to 5 millimeters. Okay, we're not cutting. We're not cutting at all yet. Hang on. Okay, so when that happens, I either don't have the current up high enough or I'm going too fast. Either way, I'm comfortable with turning it up. Let's try 30. Let's just go 30. Maybe, no, let's go 25. Okay, take 2. New fresh line. Okay, so 25 might not be, I mean, not the cleanest. I'm gonna turn it up and try again. Let's try 30. This is about an 1/8 inch thick steel, mild steel. Okay, that fell right off. The cut's looking a lot cleaner this time. A lot cleaner. So I'm gonna go up to 35. It's got a 20-second post flow, so just keep that in mind if you're using gas. Well, make sure you wear your eye protection. I've got these super dark safety glasses here. Well, that's gonna do it for the Cut 65 from Welder. It's pretty cool. The instructions suck ass. They just suck. There's no assembly instructions at all. But the machine works pretty good. I like that you don't have to touch it. I like that it says in the paper it is good for robot weld or robot arms. But you know, we'll see. We got to see if we can get this clamp on there and then hook it up to the ArcDroid. But stay tuned for that. Tell me what you guys think. If you've got a Welder or other types, what you've experienced with them. But until next time, peace out. How am I doing? Terrible. That's hilarious.